Welcome to Super Tuesday. It is presented by Progressive. We are in Gainesville, Florida. And this is the SEC on ESPN. Tonight, the number 2 team in the land, the Florida Gators, host the Oklahoma Sooners. And the Sooners are desperate for a victory. Any victory in conference. We'll get into that as this game continues. Chinyalu for Florida wins the tap. And the Gators here in front of a raucous crowd will start with the ball. Walter Clayton penetrates to his left. He kicks corner 3 to start. Around and out, and the rebound goes to the Sooners.
Boy, that is a big deal. Oklahoma towards the bottom of the league in rebounding, Ravi. They've got to hang in this game on the glass.
Nearly falling out of bounds was Sam Godwin, and he threw it off of a Gator player. It'll stay with Oklahoma. The Sooners 16-9, 3-9 in conference. They've lost 4 games in a row.
Yeah, there's not a team in the country that has 4 better guards than what Florida has right now.
Yeah, we started this season saying 3. They got 4. There's a backdoor alley-oop that worked out beautifully. And it's Aberdeen 1 extra. 3 ball won't go in.
So important for Oklahoma to get off to a good start in this game. They got a gut punch on Saturday, losing at home to LSU, a game they had won all the way to the last 30 seconds.
Nice nifty touch off the window there from Jeremiah Fears, the leading scorer on the team, or second leading scorer at 15.2 a game.
You've got to stay in front of Fears, man. He can get to that rim.
There's one that drops. Long bomb for Will Richard.
Grab see how quickly Florida puts it on you even after the make, man. They get to that transition game and spot those 4 shooters up. Tough to handle.
35% three-point shooter is Richard, penetrating all the way, and no help from Houck on the back. It's an easy layup.
Todd Golden will not be pleased with their ability or inability to stay in front of the ball so far in this game.
Gators 1 of 5 from 3. And 5 of their first 6 shots have been 3-point field goal attempts. And here's another one. And another one that drops. That's Walter Clayton Jr. now, 48. There's one of those offensive rebounds as big Micah Handlofton has come into the game. He's 3 for Florida. He was redshirted, then came in when they lost Condon, so they will get even taller, deeper, and better because of it.
Hard cutter. Has a nose for the ball. I mean, this Florida team is Final Four.
Last year compared to what he's done this year. He had a career-high 20 against South Carolina. Foul. And they both may have grabbed the arm. Fears one-on-one and a nearly impossible shot. Great work on the glass, and Houck will get whistled now. That's 2 quick ones in a row for him as he
in the Big 12. Louisville second in the ACC right now. Michigan
really hurt their chances.
Well, it tells you a little bit about maybe how weak the bubble is, but how important those 3 non-conference wins are for Oklahoma.
Yeah. A loss may not hurt him. A win would be monumental.
No doubt.
Martin, he penetrates, and that's a soft kiss. They've missed that when he was out. Physical presence.
He is just a bull, right? Driving that basketball.
Taylor Jr. tries to go in. There's Handlofton to help. Fears still plenty of time on the shot clock as he rises and buries it. At corner, 3 ball, no good. Neither team shooting very well from the outside. That was Kobe Elvis's first. Clayton Jr., pretty play.
That's a great read by Clayton Jr. to understand.
Clayton Jr. will reset. He's got 9 in the shot clock, and he gets the screen from Handlofton. He'll pull up and bury it.
He is a bucket, I'm telling you.
And his confidence is through the roof, and all of a sudden it's a 7-point lead for the Gators. Fears doing it himself. Blocked by Handlofton, and they get the whistle underneath. Golden doesn't like that call, but the best backcourt combo in the country.
Ravi, it's a Florida team that they play with a chip on their shoulder. Older guys with something to prove.
But isn't every program built that way now?
Seems like, yeah.
beauty of a guy like Clayton Jr. and given the years he's played, there's just never a heartbeat that beats too rapidly, as they had a good play out of that. The reason you're not seeing him is he's redshirting this year, but he is all of 7'9". It's a little too easy for the Gators, and a foul on Martin.
That's that toughness and physicality.
Real fast.
Well, on their home floor this year.
Too strong and too long. Clayton Jr. leading the way. He's got 8. Good time penetration.
Wow.
He just backed his defender, Martin, out of the way. About the last time when Jalen Moore was taken to the hole. Good eye. Left hand, no good. Rebound, no. Good hard penetration.
Yeah.
There was a good seal, too, from Godwin. Kansas will take on BYU. Back to Houston for a second to soak your water off. And
Arizona State, if they try to run a ball screen tonight, they're going to get jarred, man. That Houston
back by Sam Godwin. Officials didn't see it. Fears floater. Too strong, and there's hand locking.
No, but it's good offense, though. A quick early ball screen for Fears. He can make those floaters more than he misses.
Glavsar, one fake, and a 3.
That's the pressure they put on you.
And you see what they've done. A lot of it has come on the inside, but since 0 for 5, they've gone 8 of 15. Aberdeen working deep. He'll fire another open one. There you go. Denzel Aberdeen's been waiting for.
I want to be the overall #1 seed. I mean, he has set the bar high, and they're capable, Rabbi, of getting there.
Yes, they are. Fears had that one taken away. Here's Martin. The alley-oop to Chinyelu. Chinyelu got his fingers right into Fears' face. Now he tries to take the big guy, and he'll kick it. He's got to get it off quick. He does. Oh, and he knocked it down, and Don Daly just wants to make. And Auburn kind of reminded everybody, you know, not so fast. We have Broome, who's one of the best players in the country and may end up being the player of the year. Martin with a man in his mug, buried a 3, and then he petted Elvis, Kobe Elvis, on the back.
Rabbi, to your point about Auburn, if Auburn wins the regular season, Bruce Pearl should be the National Coach of the Year. I mean, this is historically the toughest league in all of college basketball. And whoever wins that regular season crown, that's my vote for the National Coach of the Year. And I'm pretty sure that's going to be Bruce Pearl.
They're all on fire.
Now, not let this thing get to 20 or more before the halftime.
Out back in the game with a couple of fouls. Richard again. Boy, it is just a big bucket right now they're seeing. What do you do? Excellent relocation by Fears. Really well done.
Big time offense by Oklahoma to keep that ball moving. Some dribble weave action up top.
Wuggy is just insistent on getting in there and getting fouled, and he did.
Painful game. Their opportunity is there right now. Rabbi, it's so, and to Seth's point, try to keep this a half-court game, as many possessions as you can. That's a concern for Porter coming into this game.
He did say they had a pretty good bounce, though, after a day after that LSU loss, which was really demoralizing for them. Clayton Jr. rises, fires,
wow,
and finds it.
What do you do about that if you're Porter Moser?
There's a tough pass in traffic, caught. Yep, foul on Clayton.
Seth Greenberg said
Will Richard, I should say.
Seth said Florida's got dudes.
Dialed it home, and Todd Golden talked about not only his role and response in the team, and certainly Golden, the way that he's handling being a dad.
A good chance right now if you're Oklahoma. This needs to be a possession where you get a good look.
Contested 3, really good defense as Clayton Jr. got back. The drive, and Denzel Aberdeen will go to the free South Carolina, to which he made 5 3-point field goals. Easier, but Aberdeen's a great example of it.
Well, there are almost 2,000 guys in the portal after
That doesn't get in.
That's where Will Richard has really gone to another level this year. Kind of a spot-up three-point guy a year ago, and he's now the best win in college basketball this year. It's Florida at Auburn.
Yeah. The win that is circled for its impressive nature was the one we saw against Kentucky. It's a duo they thought would be playing together for 4 years, and because of injuries they haven't. They're going to get Walter Clayton Jr. a little too close against Fierce.
He's getting as a freshman, then you're no longer a freshman. And he's got a big load on him, and a big miss. This basket right here could be huge.
Klapsar all the way. Soft touch. Boy, has he been outstanding. And that is how this half will end. It wasn't Richard, it wasn't Martin, it wasn't Clayton. It was Klapsar who decided.
Very concerned about the confidence level of his team over the last 3 or 4 games.
Yeah, the only guy that was a little shaky in the first half for Florida really was Aberdeen, who's been so hot, went 1 of 7. Clayton gets fouled on a crazy fadeaway, and Miles is going to get called. Field goal percentage.
If you think about Oklahoma right out of the NCAA tournament, and with a loss.
Because around the country they keep hearing about the SEC getting 13 or 14 teams in. That's the rest of the country. You're a team like South Carolina or Oklahoma. How difficult is it to compete in this conference, and what do you have to do long term to compete?
Where Oklahoma is in the NIL, where South Carolina is in the NIL, they're not up to standard. And Oklahoma lost a couple of key guys last year because they couldn't afford to keep Milos Uzan and Otega Owe.
Goodine. And that's good defense by Houck, but it's tipped up and in by Sam Godwin. The scene. Oklahoma again. They got it down to 18. Good defense that time by Clayton to slow it down. Fierce dribbles right into Chinulu in traffic. And Chinulu's going to get the foul. So good play here by.
Knocked him back, Ravi. That loss to LSU on Saturday. That one's really. He's an older kid that has seen it all in terms of how to score in this league.
Martin's having a great night shooting. They left him wide open, and Florida 5 straight games with at least 10 3-point field goals.
Where's the weakness for Florida, man? They get you in every area. Transition, they're much better defensively this year. They're great in the special teams category, those out-of-bounds underplays. I mean, they are the complete real deal.
Good move there to shake Handlockton. And the 2 for Jalen Moore. Other end, too quick.
Well, about 2 seconds. Get that ball out of the net, and Martin's finishing at the other end.
Just after we talked about the fast break points. That's a foul on a 3-point shot. And sitting down there on the ground and unable to kind of come to grips with what there's a chance that they could win the championship, and to be a part of it because Miles prevented him from playing in the NCAA tournament again. So
well, and he's also very tight with Walter Clayton Jr. and Will Richard.
The crowd wanted Handlockton to shoot that. Instead, he gives it to a much better 3-point shooter. Smart play.
Well, Handlockton understands the offense better than the play.
Clayton Jr.'s 4 of 6 from 3 and firing again. No good. Wow. Rip, and yet count the basket.
There's a toughness and a physicality.
Martin, nice dish to Chinulu, and he throws it up, and he's going to get the foul on Godwin and LSU because it's not going to be a very okay.
5 of those 6 teams are right now on that NCAA
12 sheets.
Yeah, Lenardi will have to have a bus.
Tough crowd. Tough crowd. Molly on the jet?
Molly's on the jet.
All right.
Wow,
He gets in, and Florida is participating in San Antonio in the Final Four.
no doubt. It's Florida's best opportunity to win the national title since they won it under Billy Donovan. It's also, Ravi, this is the SEC's best year to win it in a long. I think the Big Ten has a couple of Final Four teams. I really like Michigan and Purdue.
Klapsar has been so tough.
I watched him in practice about a month ago. Well, Fears just dances with that ball, doesn't he? You can see what NBA scouts see in that kid.
There's a long three from Goodine. Good three. Aberdeen, nice bounce pass there in traffic. How ripping it away. He does that as well as anybody.
He has a motor that does not stop. He is all gas. Thomas Houck. I think he sets the temperature for this Florida team. You got to have a guy that controls the thermostat, and to me, it's Thomas Houck.
You mentioned A&M. They are playing right now on the SEC Network in a good one against Mississippi State. It's a 4-point Mississippi State advantage. See Coach Vitale in person.
Yeah, no doubt, man. Just like a lot of people in college basketball, I've been in thoughts and prayers for the last couple of years, and we are so excited to be with Coach on it, but the ball doesn't get stuck. And if they continue to play like that, they have.
We're legit, and Florida knows they're legit. They're doing a validation, verification. Doesn't mean you win it, but you know you're in that first class. You're in that conversation.
There's, I don't know, there might be 10 or 12 teams that can probably feel the same way about him, but that list is getting shorter and shorter.
Right. Tough shot, one by the outstretched arm of Houck. As Goodine put it up and in.
Right, there's so much to be said for what you just said. When you leave the locker room as a staff and with your guys, you know you can beat anybody in the country. And that's the confidence that Florida has right now, and that they have deserved it and earned it.
Shindilu just ran over Moore and threw it up and in. Haven't called number 9's number a lot tonight because the guards have been so great. He is a physical presence. It's been a while since Fears buried one, so he reminds him.
Well, he's earned them.
Yes.
You look what that kid does. Just that he makes plays that don't show up on the stat sheet. Talking about 7 wide at the top of the screen.
Shindilu, Houck. Elvis in the building with the foul. Around here as well. Australian rules football. They've been involved in something from the way a team goes through a shoot around as the way the season wears on. Your own question. Yeah, there was a step right in front of Todd Golden, but they're not gonna pull that string. Look out! Oh, that boy, hand locked and came right down on Martin. And thankfully, Martin,
the top 10 finalist for the Julius Erving Small Forward of the Year award. He's been.
Fired up Martin. No good, and Houck volleyballed it back out. Aberdeen, good pass to Klapsar. Good result.
Man, he could start for a lot of teams
in this conference.
Yes, that's the 5th guard that Florida has.
There's help. Look at Farrell. He's smiling on the way back up. And Aberdeen, no. That's a hand lock that's having himself a fun time out here right now.
Man, Klapsar, 7 out of 9 from the 3-point line in the last 4 games, and that number's going up tonight. Such a smooth release, and another just a tough competitor. He's 2 out of 4 from the 3-point line, and there's the value of hand locked in. Also, he took that red shirt off. I would think a minimum at 6.
The first of, again, 5 in a row against ranked teams. And we just saw Texas beat Kentucky at Texas. Such a wonderful place to play. And Texas very well could be playing for their tournament lives that day. Taking on BYU.
Well, Bill's team defensively, Iowa State and Arizona, 3 teams that could find their way into that Final Four as well.
Deflected, and Martin, like a defensive back, he had that nose for it. He went to get it. A guy like A.J. Storr, though, you know, this portal, the NIL, all that money, it doesn't guarantee that a transfer is going to have great success.
That's a Wisconsin team sitting there.
Big win this weekend.
Can really score, man. Player, he's a selfish. He's got a great voice. He can literally guard 1 through 5.
Handlocked and pushed off. So, if you were to power rank in the SEC, how would you?
2, honestly.
So they're on the 1 line, and in our little world right now. Auburn/Florida.
Auburn/Florida. I love Alabama. I still like Tennessee, and I think A&M. They're all this. There's no separation in my eyes between those 5 teams.
Okay. Hand locked in, working hard, and there you go. He's got his first 2 and a largest lead of the night.
There will be games in March that you got to be able to throw the dadgum ball inside and score, get fouled, and Hand locked in can be that pressure release 2 or 3 times a game for him.
And they already have that guy who's just sitting on the bench right now in a boot. There's a 3. Brown, I'd like to get in on the action too. He couldn't there. Brown came down on him. We'll take a timeout. Think about the 2 freshmen we've seen our lap.
I believe Kansas Rowdy is, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 games above 5. Just tough sledding for them in that league. For the Jayhawks basketball, period. And you go in and you took down #1 with all those 13 or 14 quad 1 wins. There's not one better. That's what Forsyth can do. Out of Dale, Oklahoma High School, 3 times Oklahoma State champion. Going to be a very good player for Porter Moser going forward. Away from not only being a 1 seed, he's got that bar set.
It's funny when Nate Oates was thrust into that conversation when they were 2 and Auburn was 1. He said, I don't care about the ranking. I just want to be the #1 overall seed. I want to win the conference, and I want to win the conference tournament.
Yeah.
Foul on Aberdeen.
In the last couple weeks playing better than Walter Clayton Jr. and about him. He's a tough, fierce, competitive kid.
46 points between the 3 of them. You throw Klafschar in there with his 10, and those 4 guys have outscored Oklahoma 56-53. Klafschar, oh, it worked. He left. Tough shot. 23-3, and continue that terrific record at home, Jimmy. Just 1 loss. They're averaging, what, 86 points a game at home?
Yeah, they're beating people by 25 points a game. Now, Porter Moser still trying to keep his guys together and believing and having hope. So they played a much better second half, pretty much a tie game in the second half. But they're up against maybe the best team in college basketball right now. For Florida and Auburn, to me, Alabama, there's just no separation between those 3 teams. I think those 3 teams are better than Duke. I just think they're more athletic, they're faster. I know Duke has the size, but I give the nod to those 3 teams right now.
Chinyelu, he's picking up some. Oklahoma had a lead in rebounding. We've talked a lot about depth. 5 different Gators are in double figures in this game.
To keep his guys believing, moving in the right direction, trying to find enough. They got to stay together. They have to stay connected. And they're right on the cut line right now of that NCAA tournament projection. Todd Golden, on the other hand, has got a completely different challenge to keep his guys getting better, keep them playing with a chip and an edge and something to prove. He's done it so far through now 26 games.
An awfully impressive game for the Florida Gators of Todd Golden as they congratulate each other at the half-court line, Golden and Mosier. Florida a winner, 85-63. It's a pretty impressive number for a team that's trying to do what they did back in 06 and 07.